Well, good morning. It is 7:15 a.m. Just woke up. It's December 17th. Yesterday, December 16th, I challenged Trevor to starting YouTube, filming, making a video, posting every week. He hasn't actually replied. He has, but we haven't agreed on the terms yet. What is required of a video, and what happens if someone loses.
Okay, so in case you don't actually know this, because I don't know what has been on YouTube in the past, Trevor and I actually met on YouTube. Him and I argue a little bit about the date. I think it was around 2010, give or take. We actually met on a platform called Vocal, a live streaming platform that does not exist anymore. But that's not the point. Him and I met because of YouTube, essentially. And throughout our careers on YouTube, we have always watched each other's videos, have collaborated here and there. We have been on each other's channel. Trevor has shown up several times throughout the course of this channel's life. We've also had other YouTube channels that we have tried out and have collabed on. So that's why YouTube's kind of a big deal for us, because it was a pretty big and important thing back in the day, and we're looking to bring some of that back on our own personal channels.
Good. I think we both agree that there's, in the past, we have both loved making YouTube videos, and because of lots of different reasons, we both have stopped. I just think we both deserve one more push back into it. Required one video a week. Obviously, we don't get penalized if we do more than one video a week, but it has to be one video a week. I don't think there should be any sort of length requirements, but the video's content needs to be there.
So, Trevor, if you're wondering if we're making this public on YouTube, I think this is a good enough response to that question.
So with Trevor officially accepting this challenge, I gotta figure out how to actually make this happen. And I know some of the issues, and that's what I want to talk about, is how I'm going to succeed at YouTube. You might be wondering why we're even doing a challenge, why we're challenging each other to YouTube. I haven't been around on YouTube for 2 years now? And I've always, to friends and whatnot, I've talked about I want to get back into it. But I've made excuses. I run a very busy company. I work, 12 hours a day. Of course, I'm laying out some of those excuses now, but they shouldn't be excuses. I need to find the time, give it my all, and I think a little bit of competition is a good idea. So I gotta say, it's been a few hours since I made a video and talked to Trevor about this whole YouTube thing. It's a bit overwhelming. And I know I'm just overthinking it. But I want to set up the office so it's ready for videos. And I don't even know where to truly begin. Alright, so now that it's been a few days since Trevor and I have essentially started this challenge, comes actually making this first video. And the video I wanted to make today was not only to introduce this challenge, but to also show you the behind the scenes of what I'm thinking to actually produce this kind of content. There's many people, I'm sure, out there that are in similar boats, that are interested in making videos, but they might even have the gear. Like, I have lights, I have cameras, I have microphones, but it's just becoming overwhelming to get it set up, to figure out a good workflow, especially for people that are busy with daily lives, business, etc. So I want to take you behind the scenes, show you my setup. This is not a finished setup, not at all, but it's what I have right now, and hopefully it's going to be getting you maybe interested in getting restarted on your YouTube channel if you are in a similar boat. And if you're not in the similar boat as us, just hang out and you'll see what I got going on. So let me be clear, this is obviously no Jonathan Morris video desk dream setup. You walk in and you see the corner that we're not gonna talk about. This corner, which has a desk and a pile of crap, is going to be probably set up for some DIY kind of videos and just basic work when I have to do a computer upgrade or work on a project and I don't want to clutter up my desk. That's gonna kind of be this corner section, which I'm gonna build out at some point, but that's not important right now. Moving on though, we have my main camera, the one you're looking at me on right now. This is on a Coleman tripod and a newer dolly wheel system, so I can easily move the camera around the office in the event that I want to. But with the camera mentioned, let's talk about that. If you've watched any of my videos, you'll know I am a Micro Four Thirds shooter, so this is the Panasonic GH5S. I love this camera. I use it for all my weddings these days, 4K, 60 FPS. It is amazing. The lens on this camera is actually a new lens that I just picked up. It's the Lumix 25 to 50 millimeter f1.7. I have this lens zoomed all the way in, so the camera's pretty far away. The lens is zoomed into me, opened up at f1.7, so I can get the most depth of field out of this camera, as obviously Micro Four Thirds, it's a little challenging to get that really nice bokeh, but with this lens combo and being zoomed in, I think it does a fantastic job. Now you will see that I have an HDMI cord and a USB cord plugged into it. And we'll get to the HDMI cord in a second, but the USB cord is actually going to the desk that I'm at right now. This desk right now, I just have my Surface Pro 8 and it is connected to the camera. So I can see a live preview of myself, and I can even click on the screen using the Lumix software so I can focus the camera on me to make sure I have nice, sharp focus, make sure my framing looks good, make sure my lighting looks good. So I like the remote control aspect. Anyway, continuing with this desk setup, I don't have a ton going on here. Like I said, I have the Surface Pro 8. It's connected to a LG ultra wide monitor. This desk here is mostly going to be a shooting desk. So when I'm filming a video, I kind of have a setup where I can access notes, maybe do some screen recording, obviously review and make sure the framing of my cameras look good. I also have a top-down camera just with a Samsung Galaxy Note. This is going directly into OBS. We'll talk about OBS a little later. Above the desk, I have the Aperture F7 LED bicolor panels that help light up the desk, add a little bit of fill light to myself. Overall, this desk is gonna see some changes. We'll see if the Surface Pro 8 stays here, but it's just nice to have a little setup that I can have my notes on. Also monitor the camera feeds while I'm filming a video. So now it's time to talk about my main working desk, and this is where I get the majority of my work done. So the desktop I have here is a custom built 64 core Threadripper. I have 2 graphics cards in it, the AMD 6900 XT. I actually just picked that up. That really hurt with how expensive graphics cards are right now. I also have an AMD RX 580. I have 2 graphics cards because this computer is actually running Unraid. So I split the computer up, so it's kind of 2 computers in one at the moment. Now moving above the desk, I have the very large Samsung 49-inch super ultra wide monitor. I love this monitor for gaming. I do forget the model number, so I'll have a link in the description. It's great for gaming. It's not really great for color accuracy and whatnot, but I do still thoroughly enjoy it. To the left-hand side, I have 2 LG 32-inch monitors. Don't remember the model numbers, so links in the description. These monitors are 1440p, so not 4K, but I find the color accuracy to be really good, and they're also not bad at gaming either. And then looking above, I have 2 13-inch little portable monitors that I just have just in case I need to throw windows up and whatever. I don't even know what they are. I think they're hard to find anyway, so I'm not worried about them, but I will have links in the description if I find them. But they're not really important for this video. We gotta look actually more on my desk to see some of the more important things. First is the Zoom LiveTrack L8 mixer. So this is a USB mixer, and I actually have multiple XLR microphones going into it. What I did not mention before is at the desk I'm shooting at right now, I have the Deity S Mic 2. This is an XLR shotgun microphone, and that is what you're hearing me on right now. I do really like this microphone, but that's not the only microphone I have, because at the main desk, I also have the Rode Pod Mic. I actually really do also like the Pod Mic for podcasting and voiceovers. For only $100, it is a really great deal. So definitely take a look at that if you're getting into podcasting. But that's how I'm doing the audio. So the Zoom mixer actually goes right into the computer, and I'm recording the audio into OBS. I'm also recording the video that you're seeing in OBS as well. And I'm doing that with the Blackmagic Atom Mini Pro, or Atom Mini Pro. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. This is a 4-port HDMI video mixer. It only does HD, which is a little disappointing, so I do want to upgrade to 4K in the future. We'll see how I pursue that. But by feeding everything into OBS, the audio, the video, I have so much flexibility with what I'm able to do, because the HDMI mixer obviously supports basically any HDMI feed that I would throw at it. So I have 4 inputs there. And then OBS, I could have an infinite amount of inputs to a degree. So if I wanted to do screen recording, I can just set up a window capture or desktop capture scene. To be honest, for the last few years, I've actually always wanted to have almost like a one-click button where it's like you walk into the studio with an idea and you can just start filming and everything's all set up. And although I'm not completely there, this definitely paints the way to be there, and I'm very excited for that. And what I should actually also mention, with all the cameras going into OBS, this is actually probably the most important thing is when I want to do live streams, whether it's my own live streams or with Trevor, because we've talked about doing some live streams, some collaboration streams, I can use everything you are already seeing and just output it as a virtual webcam into YouTube or whatever the case may be. So I can get professional video while I'm live streaming. So I mentioned the pod mic earlier, and I actually wanted just to switch to it now so you could take a look at how it sounds. And also I have another camera at this main desk. So this is great for when I want to do streams or when I want to film videos. Sure, the desk behind me is supposed to be the YouTube desk, if you will. But there's still going to be times where I'm going to want to use my main system. And I have the camera already mounted here. I have the microphones already set up here. Got to work a little bit on the lighting. This light above me is a little bright and I can see it in my glasses, but it's still looking pretty good. And although this would be an extreme case, let's say I had someone else in the studio here and we needed to like kind of switch videos back and forth, you know, with the mixer, bam, now we can be on a different camera just like that. So this is just a super exciting setup. And sure, I had a lot of equipment to do it, but sometimes you need the motivation just to actually make it happen. So just a quick lightning round of things I have not mentioned thus far. So lighting, I've already talked about the Aperture F7 panels, but the other panels you see are by Newer. Bought these a little bit ago for a project. They're fine. Maybe I'll do a review on them. We'll see. But they are Bluetooth enabled, so on my smartphone, I'm able to turn them all off, and I can also adjust what they do. So that's pretty exciting. Not perfect, but it's still pretty exciting nonetheless. I like the flexibility, so I really can't be happier at the moment. But at this point, that is the setup I have going on. It is not perfect. There are wires everywhere. There's the corner of the room that we don't really talk about right now. Some of the audio and lighting needs some fine-tune adjustments, but this is a video to showcase what I've started off with and to start actually making content. And hopefully if you're in a similar boat, as I mentioned before, maybe this will give you some ideas and some inspiration. But that is the current setup. When will I make an updated setup video? Maybe not for a very long time, but this is what I got going on right now. So I hope this gave you some inspiration nonetheless. So before we're ending this video, obviously this video is going up on December 25th. So for those that celebrate, that is Christmas Day. Merry Christmas to everyone. For everyone else, happy holidays. And it's actually Christmas Eve, December 24th right now. We got a little snow, so I wanted to come out here and film very briefly. But thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you in the next year. Oops, I failed to click stop.
Can I just say, and I hope you're recording this, when you play this back, I'm gonna be disappointed if I find out you weren't, but your on video voice when you just made yeah, let's do December 25th, you're right, and you have the camera pointed at me, your video voice is so different than your normal talking to me voice. Just wanted to make that comment.